Okay, so the first thing we're gonna play is just floor tom and bass together. Okay, so one measure, count one, then one measure off. Third measure, boom, one measure off. It'd be like this. 1, 2, 3. 2, 3, 4. Rest. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. Rest. 2, 3. Yeet. Now we have 4 bars off after that. That's when we get into our soca groove. This is characterized by 4 on the floor, okay? And we're gonna play snare drum with our left hand. We're actually gonna play cross stick. Okay, so the way I like to play cross stick is I take this stick and I hold it backwards. So butt first. Yes, it's called the butt. You can't get in trouble for saying it. All right, then I cut the drum in half. Okay, and then I move the beat of the stick up about an inch from the rim on the opposite side of my arm here. Okay, that gives me a good cross stick sound. However, for this sample, it's actually really muffled. So you could actually keep your stick back with the beat on the rim. That's okay. I want a muffled sound. You could also put like a towel over a drum like this. See, now it's this cool muffled sound. And it sounds closer to the actual recording. The recording is all electronic. So using an acoustic drum set, you have to be creative. Now, if you don't have the gear, don't worry about it. You could be practicing just with right foot, left hand. So don't worry about what you own. That's trivial, man. It's what you can do. Right foot's gonna play 4 on the floor, okay? So now our left hand will play of 1, the and of 2, then of 3, and of 4. It's always 1, 2, and, like that. And then in count 3, you add the E. 1 E and 2, and 3 E, 4, and. Okay, so the recording is at 111 beats per minute. So we're gonna go slower than that. All right, this is around about 70. Okay, so we're dropping it by 40 beats per minute. That's a pretty big drop, but if you need to go slower, go slower. Play it as fast as you can correctly. You're gonna make mistakes. Pause, rewind. Let's play this first section where we actually get into the groove. Okay, so this is measure 9. We had 4-bar intro, 4-bar rest. Now we're gonna play our groove, okay? We have 11 measures first. So you gotta think in 12-bar phrases. We'll rest on measure 12. Then we're gonna go again. We're gonna play 7 measures of this same groove. We're just gonna play through it. And then we rest on measure 8, and then we're gonna stop because we actually add something to the groove after that. So play along, try your best. Here we go. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 1, 2, back in, here we go, and 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, how'd you do? It's really hard to keep track of where you are. It helps to count out loud, especially if you're just starting. Count out loud. Counting is underrated. Okay, now we're gonna add the right hand on the upbeats. Foot, right, left, both. Foot, left, right, left, both. I say that just for people who maybe do drumline and you're thinking more about sticking instead of voicing. Okay, so that's the actual coordination. Also, if you're not on a drum set right now and you can't hear the difference, okay, just work on that sticking and then you'll have the coordination part. That's the hardest part to deal with, is the coordination. Okay, also, if the hi-hat becomes too cumbersome, meaning I start messing up bass and snare because I'm trying to be all fancy on my hi-hat, take it out. You take drum lessons, not hi-hat lessons. Keep the drums going. Four, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and then we have that 12th bar rest. Okay, so you're seeing we have even numbers, either 8 or 12, and then we rest on the last measure. Okay, so I'm gonna do some stuff to my gear here. I'm actually gonna put this splash cymbal on my snare drum. Yeah, I learned that from Sput and Nate of Snarky Puppy. Shout out to those guys. If they ever watch this, you guys are like kind of heroes of mine, super awesome dudes. The splash cymbal actually makes the snare sound like a clap sound. So if I'm using an acoustic drum set and I really want it to sound like the recording, we're about to have some claps, so I want it to sound right. So bear with me while I change my kit. Here we go. I'm also going to use a little duct tape to suggest to my splash cymbal to stay where it is. Now, if I really wanted this to stick, I'd wait and let it set, but I'm very impatient. So instead of playing cross stick on this snare now, okay, I'm just gonna play on my popcorn snare, and I move the rag over to here. Okay, my claps are gonna come from hitting the actual cymbal on the drum. Okay, you can always move it around to get different sounds. I like it right here. I also want to have access to the snare drum later for some ghost notes. So, and I put my rag on top of this little popcorn snare. And actually, I'm going to turn the snares off. So I have a muffled lo-fi sound coming from this popcorn snare. It sounds very similar to the recording. Now, you could do all kinds of stuff. You could still play cross stick here. Do it however you want. Be creative. Okay, so now we're playing the same thing we just did, but we're going to add backbeats on counts 2 and 4 on the snare. I'm going to play that backbeat on the cymbal so I get the clap sound. Okay, so our right hand is going to play 1 and 2 and 3. And our right foot, left hand is going to maintain the same pattern it has the entire song so far. Okay? So, I know it seems intimidating. We're going to take it slow and work through it. All right, here we go. Let's do it. Okay, so you saw how I ended on the and of 2 of the 8th measure there. Okay, this is right before Kanye comes in, so we want to make sure we get out of the way. For practicing purposes, you could stop there, but then come right back in because it's a 20 measure rest if you were playing this like live. Okay, so make sure that you're playing through and practicing. I would keep working on Soca because if I'm guessing correctly, you're less familiar with that rhythm, and that's what we're really trying to work on, is broadening our horizons. So just keep playing through. Now, we're going to skip ahead to the next time you actually play. Okay, this is in the middle of Kanye spitting some serious bars. Yep, I sound real cool saying that. And we're just going to play bass drum on all 4, and I'm going to actually play, instead of playing the cross stick, I'm going to play on my popcorn snare with the towel on it. Okay, let's try it. We'll go a little bit faster too. Here we go. Okay, coming into this, we have bass drum. 1, 2, and 3, and 4. 1, 2, and 3, and 4. Measure 2, you actually play a snare drum on count 4. I'll play it on the cymbal. Okay, then for 2 measures, I'll play bass and snare, right? So I have backbeats on counts 2 and 4, and then I have ghost notes, which means very quiet notes. I'm gonna play off the cymbal, okay, on the of 2 and the E of 3. So 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a E 4. Okay, I'm keeping the right foot going the same the entire time. Okay, then after those 2 measures, this is measure 5 of the phrase. I add all 8th notes on my hi-hat. I could also play on like a stack cymbal like I have over here. Okay, it's lo-fi, which means low fidelity. It sounds muffled. Like if I talk like this. Talking, 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 talking. Now it's clear. That's me fading in with my really nasally voice. So I'm actually going to play 8th notes, and then I'm going to play and a 1, 4E and a 1. Okay, and then in the last measure of this phrase, I play and a on the hi-hat really crisp, and then we have bass drum 1 and. Be patient. I know that could be a lot for you. Don't worry about it. We'll just work through it. Remember, pause, rewind, go through it as much as you need. Okay? Here we go. Let's try it out. Okay, I know that's tricky. Just make sure that you're nice to yourself. You're patient. It's going to take a while. Okay, on count the of 2, the E of 3, because my right hand is playing 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and without wavering, I'm just playing right, left, right, left. Listen. You heard that? Right, left, right, left. So there you go. That's it. Your right hand stays solid. Don't let it change. Oh yeah, also you got those breaks. That's the Batman sound. You hear that? If you hear that sound in real life, he's coming. Okay, the next part is more of a house groove. We got backbeats on 2 and 4, so the left hand stays the same. Okay, right hand's just gonna play on the ands, the upbeats, open hi-hat, psh, psh. Okay, and then bass drum will play on counts 1, 2, also the and of 3 and the E of 4. Okay, 1, 2, 3, and 4 E. There you go. You notice how that was in between right hand clicks there? Okay, so make sure you're able to do that. If you can't, 16th note bass drum grid, I got a video for that. But let's give it a whirl. There you go. That's it. You end on the and of 4. There's some extra stuff that happens, but the song's over when the drums are done, in my opinion. Maybe that's why it's hard to find gigs. Anyway, hey, I hope that made sense. I hope you had some fun. I know some of these parts are kind of dense and they can be difficult. Just take your time. Pause, rewind. I need that watch time anyways. Be nice to yourself. It's going to take a minute, but once you can play it, it's so much fun. Also, if you just want to play basic grooves, you could just tap your foot 4 on the floor to the song right now. That's going to help you, okay? But also don't be afraid to level up and try and add more to the song, more than what's in the recording, all right? That's what makes this super fun. Stinky Febreze. Stinky would be technology, I'm just kind of over it. Febreze would be getting to share this song with you. I had so much fun. I really like this song, and it was a great way to talk about 2 different styles and really work through some cool stuff. So be safe out there. Wash your hands. Stay off of social media. It's a minefield out there. And I'll see you later.